Nigerians await name of President Muhammadu Buhari's successor. National Assembly passes bill to exit pension scheme. Nigeria Union of Journalists commiserate with victims of fire disaster. On business news, non-oil export earnings hit $75 million in 2 months. On international scene, French president to tour 4 Central African nations. And on sport update, Man United wins League Cup. Hello and welcome to Standard Voice Television News Channel. I'm Mukutha Mohammed. Nigeria's general elections were on almost everyone's lip as the votes were mostly peaceful despite some cases of violence, delays and technical glitches. However, the slow uploading of results online was starting to stir up fears of electoral malpractice. For more on the story, Rahmadu Sarah reports.
Nearly 90 million voters were eligible to vote on Saturday for a successor to President Muhammadu Buhari, who is stepping down after 2 terms marked by wars and insecurity and growing poverty. The election pits former Lagos Governor Bola Tinubu 70 of the ruling All Progressives Congress against an old rival, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party 76. But for the first time since the end of the military rule in 1999, a third-party candidate, Peter Obi of the Labour Party, has challenged the APC and PDP dominance with a campaign message of change. Spread over more than 176,000 polling units, voters also cast their ballot for Nigeria's 2 houses of parliament, the National Assembly and Senate. Rahama Ibrahim Dusar, Standard Voice Television.
The National Assembly has passed a bill to exempt its workers from the scheme 18 years after operating the contributory pension scheme. However, the Pension Fund Operators Association of Nigeria said the passage of the bill sets a dangerous precedent for Nigerian workers. PENOP reacted in a statement titled Exemption of the National Assembly Staff from the Contributory Pension Scheme. It said the statement was to draw the attention of the public to the bill for an act to amend the Pension Reform Act 2014 to exclude the National Assembly Service from the Contributory Pension Scheme and establish the National Assembly Service Pension Board, and for related matters, which was recently passed by both chambers of the National Assembly, saying the passage of the bill sets a dangerous precedent for Nigerian workers. Chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Borno State Council, Comrade Dauda Iliya, has on behalf of the entire working journalists in the state commiserate with government and people of the state over the unfortunate fire disaster at Monday Market. The council also deeply sympathized with victims of the inferno that led to loss of property worth billions of naira belonging to hundreds of traders and destruction of the entire market premises, urging all those affected to take it as an act of Almighty Allah and jointly continue to offer prayers against the reoccurrence of such calamity in the future. Yaga Africa has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission to protect the transparency of the results collation process by ensuring easy access to the collation centers for accredited observers and party agents. Yaga Africa said this at its Watching the Votes situational press statement on the Saturday's presidential election, jointly signed by Hussaini Abdu, Chairman Working Group, and Samson Etodo, Executive Director. Reading the document, Abdu called on INEC to provide clear communication on locations where the general election did not hold and ensure the process was concluded in those locations before returns were made. An NGO, Clean Foundation, has lauded the conduct of the Nigerian police and other law enforcement agencies during the general elections held on Saturday. Executive Director of the foundation, Mr. Peter Gad, gave the commendation while addressing newsmen on the foundation's preliminary report on the conduct of security agencies in the elections. For more on the story, Jamila Dosara reports.
Mr. Gad also urged the electorate to remain peaceful to the end of the entire electoral process. He said from reports received so far from the foundation's observers in senatorial districts across the country, the elections appeared to have gone according to the standard for democratic elections to which Nigeria had committed itself. The director said in spite of the late arrivals of security, data gathered showed that over 80% of the polling units had at least 2 or more security agents. He added that most of the bimodal voter accreditation system functioned reasonably well, except in few cases where the machines for different polling units were mixed up. Jamila Ibrahim Dusa reporting for Standard Voice Television.
The Director General of Public Service Staff Development Center, Adekumilola Adio Moses, has called for an advanced collaboration on capacity building for the public service by creating awareness of the importance of traffic laws and the integrated intermodal transport system. Mr. Adio Moses made the call when the agency paid a courtesy visit to Lagos Traffic Radio, describing it as the most outstanding radio station in Nigeria for excellent service delivery. In his remarks, the General Manager of Lagos Traffic Radio, Tayo Akanle, appreciated the PSSDC for its commendation based on the station's achievements and positive impact on listeners. 3 died and 4 suspects were arrested as political thugs, set New Nigeria People's Party campaign secretariat in Tudunwada local government area of Kano State ablaze. This was disclosed by the state police spokesman, SP Abdullahi Haruna Kiyawa. For more on the story, Zainab Abdulwasiu has details.
SP Kiyawa said 2 unknown persons in a stationary motor vehicle inside the building of the campaign office of the House of Representatives candidate of NNPP were set ambushed and burnt to death, while the building of Tudunwada local government area INEC office was also attempted to be set ambushed when a group of thugs mobilized themselves in large number and attacked. The police further revealed that a group of political hoodlums also attacked INEC office of Take local government area venue of Election Result Collation Center the same day, but swift response from the police and other security agencies in the state averted the calamity. In the process, 4 of the suspected thugs were arrested, assuring that the collation of results was concluded peacefully. Zainab Abdulwasiu reporting for Standard Voice Television.
Now on business update. According to figures obtained from the Central Bank of Nigeria, earnings from non-oil export in October and November rose to $75 million. The CBN stated this in its November economic report that non-oil export earnings rose by 16.9% to $0.40 billion from $0.35 billion in October. According to the report, analysis by Direction of Trade revealed that Brazil was the major destination of non-oil export products with a share of 13.7%. Exports to the Netherlands were 12.6%, 11.6% to China, 6.7% to Belgium, and 6.0% to Japan. Now on international news.